Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Can you guys hear me? Testing, testing. We have 7 people available. Just give me one moment, please. I need to turn the heater off. Just 1 moment, please. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon. Can you hear me? How's everyone doing? Could you please let me know if you could hear me? Just type in. There should be 8 people viewing. Let me see if LinkedIn is working. I know YouTube Live is working properly. Let me take a look at LinkedIn and Facebook. Let's see. Yes. Oh, I have 52 attendees on LinkedIn. Good evening, everyone. This is an open discussion. If you're studying for the CPA exam, any questions about how to prepare, how can I help you, so on and so forth. So please let me know where you're calling from, and anything that I can guide you, assist you. This is an open discussion. Please go ahead. I should have 52 attendees. Please let me know where you're calling from and what are you studying for. Good evening, Tajal. Good evening, Sudap. I'm not sure why I'm not being able to see your comments on my end as well. Good evening, Sudap. Good evening, everyone. For some reason, I'm not being able to see our show comment. Let me see. Show comments on stage. Let me just make sure this comment is working. Good evening, Hassanin. Good evening, everyone. Please post your questions. If you have any questions, let me know what your questions are. I don't know why YouTube is not. YouTube maybe not working. It's fine. We'll take care of it. Duha, good afternoon. Good evening. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good evening from Pennsylvania, Doha. Please let me know if you're studying for the CPA exam or if you're an accounting student, why you joined us this evening. This is basically an open mic. YouTube 5 waiting, still waiting on YouTube. Why is YouTube is not showing live? If anyone on YouTube, could you please just type one message? I want to make sure I am also airing on YouTube. Looks I'm live on YouTube as well. Hi, Tijal. We'll start with the first question. I planned my audit exam February 23rd, which is less than a month. I'm revising the syllabus, still having hard time in Becker A3, specifically in sampling. Excellent. At least I'm starting to see the comments from YouTube. That's great. Tijal, A3 sampling. Excellent. What are you using to study? Are you using Becker, Miles? Good evening, Muhammad. Good evening. Are you using Becker, Miles? Could you tell me which method, which CPA review course you are using, and what's the difficulty? Specifically, what's the difficulty that you're having? I'll give you a minute to answer. Thank you so much, Brandy. I appreciate it. I just want to make sure because I could not see any comments, but now the comments are starting to flow. That's why I was a bit concerned about that, but now it seems it's working properly. Still LinkedIn comments, I'm not being able to show them on the screen, but that's fine. We can live with that. Let me go back on LinkedIn Live. Let's see. I'm waiting for Tijal. Hassanin studying for FAR. Could you tell me what are you using for FAR? Which CPA review course? How are you studying? Becker and mine. Are you a subscriber as well, Tijal? Are you using my lectures before you use your Becker? And specifically, what challenges are you having in understanding and applying? What would you say is the challenge? And I'll be waiting for your comment. Give me one moment here. And the past 2 days were really harsh in terms of snow. I've been shoveling snow for the past 48 hours, trying to dig myself out. Okay, difficulty in understanding. Excellent. For example, are you aware that sampling has two sections, attribute sampling and variable sampling? Do you know that much? The reason I'm asking you this, because I want you to look at sampling as two different topics. Attribute is one and variable the other. Now on my website, let me show you, I'm gonna pull my sampling lesson. He said Becker A3. Let me go ahead and pull the lessons and show you. Maybe you're aware, maybe you're not aware of all the resources. Maybe I should just go over them and make sure you are using them all. So I'm gonna share my screen. Give me one moment. Please let me know if you guys can see my screen. Please let me know if you can see my screen. And she's having problem, Tajal, with the CPA A3. So I'm going to go to Audit, Becker A3. Thank you, Alor. Thank you very much. I truly appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, if you guys can see my screen, give me one moment, please. Could you guys see my screen? Okay, now let's go to A3. I'm going to go to A3, Becker Audit A3. And I'm going to show you resources step by step. I want to make sure you're using all your resources. All right, let me go down here. So this is the sampling A3. Was it A3, A3M6? Let's see. Yes, sampling part one, sampling part two. So what you do with sampling, first start with sampling risk and non-sampling risk, okay? What I have is you can view the lecture to understand what's the difference between sampling risk and non-sampling risk. You can start from there. What resources do you have in addition to my lectures in order to understand this topic? You can summarize this lesson in a table. You can summarize the lesson or summarize it in a table. So let me show you. If you want only to get the summary of the lesson, you can do that as well. One moment, please. So let me just, so after you view the lecture, summarize it in the table and look over the table to make sure you understand all the main concepts in that session. Then what you would do next, after you summarize it in a table, you can ask the AI to give you few multiple choice questions about that particular lesson. In other words, test your knowledge. Do you really understand this topic? How do you know whether you understand it or not? Test your knowledge. Let me show you. Could you guys see my screen? Could you guys still see my screen? Okay, so this is the summary table. For example, what's audit sampling? What's reasonable assurance? What I'm trying to show you is you can study sampling step by step. What is the audit risk model? What is test of control versus substantive testing? And you will do this after you view the lesson to make sure you have a grasp of the big picture. Now, if you want to kind of test yourself further, you could ask the AI to create some flashcards to help you reinforce what you just learned. That's another way to learn the concept. Or you could ask the AI to quiz you. I'm showing you all this to ask you if you're using all those resources. Then, if you would like to, with that particular lesson, you can listen to a podcast. So if you go down to A3M6, let me go back down here. And this is a podcast, A3M6, that will explain the concept, the same concept, using a podcast, which is, it's a different way of explaining the same thing. So take the sampling lesson by lesson, understand the concept before you move on. Now, as you're going through this, If there's anything that's an obstacle for you, by all means, please post under the lecture. For example, here you could post under the lecture, and our support team will get back to you in explaining the concept. Sampling is an important concept. You cannot go into the exam without having a strong understanding of sampling. So if you have any doubts about sampling, I will not go into the exam unless I know it inside out. And my question to you now, are you using all those resources? So only for one lesson, I showed you maybe 4 or 5 different ways that you can learn it. Are you using all those resources? Could you let me know if you are using all those resources, Tajal? And so zoom in on a topic, on a concept, on a lesson. Once you get it 100%, you move on. And I would say sampling altogether, you would have to invest. Even if you don't know anything about sampling, I would say 12 to 15 hours in order to have sampling under control. So this is what I would do. I would focus it. I will focus on one topic at a time. My LinkedIn is disconnecting. I will reconnect again. Excellent. I hope so. You are using all of this and you're still having issues. Is this what you're telling me? In other words, tell me, how can we help you to get better in sampling? That's the key. Let's have some more comments until Tajal answer us. Good evening, Muhammad. I'm glad you can hear me. Hello, Samir. I got reg tomorrow morning. Am I cooked? Why would you say you are cooked? Tell us a little bit more how you are preparing for the exam. Not necessary. You don't have to be cooked. Just tell us how you are preparing for the exam. How are you preparing for the exam? Which CPA review course you are using? How are you scoring? Do you have any doubts about any topics? Why would you be cooked? On the contrary, you should be ready for that. We'll wait. We'll wait for the responses. Okay, you did not try AI. Yes, I would try AI as well, because the reason, Tajal, AI would help because you can zoom in on a specific topic and just focus on that, and don't leave until you understand the topic. Okay? And ask Miriam, Amani, Nabil, welcome. I'm glad you can hear me. Gorilla, thanks, brother. Just watch a couple of your videos on QBI. Absolutely. What are you taking an income tax course, or are you studying for the CPA exam, Gorilla? We have Doha. I'm currently working on my PhD dissertation and have decided to pursue the CPA application. I'm very passionate about this step and want to start with auditing because I love it. But everyone is telling me not a good choice to begin with. What advice do you have on this? What's the ideal plan for this situation in terms of sequence of exam? Excellent, sequence of exam. So here's the logic behind the sequence of exam. And since you are going for your PhD, I'm assuming you like to teach. I'm assuming you like academia. So let's go back to academia. In college, in your university, you would always take financial accounting, intermediate accounting before you take your audit course. Now, the CPA exam, they don't have this requirement. They don't require you to take FAR before you take audit. However, logically speaking, to be a good auditor, you have to know financial accounting. So my advice is always start with FAR. For one of the reasons I want you to start with FAR, because you want to take FAR before you take audit. Why? Because some students, and some might be listening now, they take audit and they give them a simulation that's FAR related. What do I mean FAR related? It could be a simulation about inventory. It could be a simulation about depreciation. It could be a simulation about payroll. It could be about contingent liabilities. So when you take audit, they assume you are comfortable, you are competent with FAR topics. And sometimes students fail audit because they did not take FAR first. In other words, because they lack some FAR knowledge, they failed audit. Because when they took the audit exam, the simulation in certain questions assume certain knowledge in audit from FAR. So that's one reason. The other reason is FAR compared to the core section has the lowest rate. So you don't want the clock to start ticking until you have passed the not the hardest, the exam that has the lowest pass rate, which is FAR. And because FAR is the most intimidating for all students, get it out of the way, and you have to take it. It's a core section. Get it out of the way first, then worry about the other sections. This is what I would do. This will be my advice to you: is take FAR first, then take audit. That will be my advice to you. Guess you put the comment twice. Okay, so Doha, I hope this was helpful to you. I hope this was helpful to you. Yes, the person that's taking RAC tomorrow, Gorella's taken my tax too. Absolutely, it will help you with your tax course as well. The mold kid. Could you tell us a little bit more before you go to sleep and get some rest? How did you prepare? How do you feel? Anything that you can share with us before you sit for the exam tomorrow? And yes, get some good rest. That's for sure. You will need that. That's for sure. Yes, definitely taken the my income tax too. Which university or college are you enrolled in? If you don't mind sharing this information with us. We have. I will give you a second. I will give second time this audit exam. Please advise what I need more to focus on. I'm assuming this is Tejal Sony from LinkedIn. There's no one particular topic you need to focus on. You need to know all topics. That's the key to passing the CPA exam. You cannot take your chances on picking on choosing which topic to focus on. No one knows. Every time you take the exam, you might get different sets of questions. You cannot assume because you get something in the past, you might get it again. You cannot assume that your friends told these are the topics that I saw. It doesn't mean you're going to see them. You may or may not. The point is, you cannot take your chances. So my answer to you is, and since you ask about sampling, for example, if sampling is a problem for you, this is your opportunity to get good at it. To get good at it. If you know sampling is an issue, this is your opportunity. Why? In other words, study sampling inside out and wish for as many questions for sampling as possible. Once you're done with sampling, what's the next topic? Is it internal control? Focus on internal control, so on and so forth. So don't leave any topics for chance. No one will, if someone tells you focus on these topics, they're lying to you, they're misleading you. So know everything, don't take any chances, and you will be prepared. You cannot take any chances on the exam. Let's see, we have another LinkedIn comment. How about TCP? It is the highest pass rate. Should I start with TCP since I have some taxation background? Good question, but no, you never start with a specialization. You never start with a specialization unless you have finished the core section. And this is one way to fail. One way to fail the exam is to do what? Is to take specialization before the core, is to take bar before FAR, is to take TCP before, if you is to take TCP before RAG. Now, even though you have tax background, great. If you have tax background, take RAG, then take TCP. And since you have tax background, I will not even take RAG first. I will keep my background, my knowledge as an asset, keep it for later. So if I was in your shoes, Muhammad Ibrahim, if I was in your shoes, what I would do, I will take FAR, audit, get those out of the way, and I will focus on RAG because it's supposed to be the easiest for, and quote, the easiest. And the reason it's the easiest, it's because you're telling me you have tax background. And if you're working in tax, If you put another season, it's going to be even easier for you. And this is why I would recommend start with FAR, audit, RAG, then TCP. So keep RAG for last. Now, some people, what they would say, no, I would like to get RAG and TCP out of the way because I want to pass through session and to have more confidence. That's another way to do it. But if you want my advice, since taxation background, keep them to last because once you pass audit and FAR and audit, to be more specific, put them in sequence. RAG and TCP should be in your pocket. Basically, you would assume you passed them. So that will be my advice to you. Don't take TCP. Actually, I made a short specifically warning people about this. Let me share the short with everyone. Give me one moment. I'm looking at my other screen. If I can find the short. Let me see if this is the short. And it's specifically for that. It's the easiest way for students that failed the exam. It's because they took the discipline before the course. For students. Let me see if this is the short that I share with you, and I will share. No, it's not. That's not the short I want to share with you. Yes. So I hope I answered your question, and that's the best advice. You're most welcome, Duha. Could you tell us which college or university are you attending, and what's your dissertation about, and how far are you in? And I'm assuming you want to teach. That's the whole purpose of if you go for your PhD. As I mentioned in my last live meeting, I just finished my doctorate at Doha, specifically 40 days ago on December the 17th. This is when I finished my doctorate in business, not PhD. Yes, it was a tough 7 years for me, six to 7 years. I skipped 2 years. I have a deferment, but nevertheless, it wasn't an easy. I keep going. It's worth it at the end. But I'm assuming you want to teach. That's the purpose of it. Let's take a look at see if we have any other comments here. No comments. We'll wait for more comments. How long do you think the CPA journey will take based on your experience from the beginning of preparation until passing all the exam? Very, very typical question. I do get this question at least 2 to 3 times in every live meeting, it's totally understandable. And the answer is it takes different time for different students. Because this question is so common, I created a 3-minute YouTube to explain all the factors. So Doha, if you look at this YouTube I just shared in the text, it will list, I believe, 10 factors, 10 reasons. I'm gonna list it for everyone here as well, for the YouTube as well. There are 10 different reasons why not 2 individuals will take the same time for 2 individuals. Age, prior knowledge, prior experience, all sorts of reasons. English as a second language, it doesn't mean it's going to affect your pass rate, but it's going to affect the time you study. What else? How long ago you graduated? If you work in a particular industry, if you work in taxation, for example, Ibrahim work in taxation. If you work in taxation, it will be easy for you to pass RAG and TCP versus someone who's not working in taxation will find RAG and TCP harder and will take them longer. Compared to a person who's working in audit, they finish audit much faster than someone who works in financial reporting and vice versa. There's no answer to that question. My answer is always take the time necessary to pass the CPA exam, whether that's 6 months or 3 years. It doesn't matter. Take your time. It's an investment once in your lifetime. Make the most out of it and get it out of the way. So there's no answer to your question. And I hope you will answer your students down the road once you become a PhD that way, because that's the best advice. I don't like to box people. I don't like to tell people it should take a year and a half, or 2 years. And a matter of fact, I don't like when CPA review courses, they ask you to put everything in a calendar and they ask you. I know it's good for motivation, but sometimes they set you up to fail. Each student study differently. For example, if you have 10 hours per week to study, some students can finish 2 units in 10 hours. Some students can finish 1 unit. Some students can finish 3 units in 10 hours. Therefore, CPA review courses, what they assume you put 10 hours, you should be able to finish F1, F2, and F3, or whatever. And that's not the case. That's not the case. And that's why I would never give a time frame for that. Thank you, Doha. Thank you. Yes, it was about the CPA exam, by the way. It's about the pass rate of the CPA exam. We have Abdullah. Is it true that there is no need for 150 credit to sit for the CPA exam as of January 2026? And the answer is it depends. It depends. The CPA exam, the rules are state-based. Some states allow you to sit for the exam. Some states don't. So there's no way I can answer that question. It all depends on the state that you are applying to. And the best way to find out is to go to Google, type in NASBA, your state requirement, like say NASBA New York requirement, NASBA Florida requirement, and it will take you to NASBA. Why don't I just give you the NASBA? Let me find the NASBA.org and send you the link for it. So if you really want to know, you can go to NASBA.org, and from there they have the requirement for all states. So let me just. So it's difficult to answer that question because it's state-based. The good thing, NASBA will have all the state listed in one place. It will be easy for you to follow. We have SUDIP. I'm planning for FAR by mid-March. I refer Becker and your lectures. Currently, I'm in F4 liability module. However, feeling low confidence in simulation. Could you please help sharing what should be important things for the next 45 days? And is it sufficient to cover the balance FAR along with revision? Okay, your question is very similar to Doha. So first, let's talk about simulation. It's very important to tackle one question at a time. There's no such thing as simulations. What do I mean by that? And I have another question just came up now. How to tackle simulation before I get overwhelmed with the details. Excellent. I'm going to share with you 2 links. One is a short and one is a long video, because to explain the whole strategy, I don't want to hijack the whole meeting for that. So let me share with you those 2 links and I will talk about the simulation. Give me one moment, please. So this is the first video I will be sharing. It is 17 minutes. It will explain step by step. Give me one moment, please. How to solve simulations. I will tell you briefly here what I mean by that. This is the long video. And this is I believe this is the short version of it. Okay, this is literally the short version, and this is the short version of the simulation. So, simulations. What are simulations? Simulations are multiple choice framed differently. So the simulations are testing your knowledge about the topic. There's no such thing as simulation. For example, if we go back to SUDIP, SUDIP says I'm working on F4 liabilities. So the simulations will cover liabilities topic. So the first thing you have to do is, do I know my liabilities inside out? He's not having a problem. Really, he's having a problem with liabilities, because once you understand liabilities, the next thing you do is to understand the 4 types of simulation you can face on the exam. The journal entries, the drop-down box, the other 2 that I cannot think of, but they're in that video. There are 4 types of simulation. You need to be familiar with those. Once you look at the simulation, the first thing you ask yourself is, what type of a simulation am I dealing with? What type? Is it a journal entry? I don't know what's the other 4. Let me see if I can take a look at my video real quick and look at them, just to kind of give me 1 second so I can list them now and to tell you what to do with this. So it could be a document review, journal entries, number entry, or choice list. So first is the type of the simulation. First is the type. 2 is the topic. What's the topic of the simulation? Is it about bonds? Is it about deferred taxes? So the type is important, and the topic. And once you are comfortable with both the type and the topic, you should be able to answer simulations. On my website, farhatlectures.com, for every exam, I have a simulation tutorial. Show you how to tackle simulations. Not only show you in theory, I go over maybe 10 to 15 previously released AI CPA simulations, showing you how to approach each simulation step by step. So you need to learn how to tackle simulations. What topic am I dealing with? And the type of the simulation, and practice simulations until you are comfortable with them. And the more exhibits you have in a simulation, in my opinion, the easier is that simulation. Why can I say so? Because I see what the AICPA releases. They try to intimidate you with exhibits. The more exhibits, the easier is the simulation. Every exhibit basically one question. You need to know, what am I looking for and where to look for it. That's all what the simulation is all about. They're giving you the information, but you have to be able to identify the needed to identify means to pick the proper information to answer the simulation. And this is, let me share my screen one more time and show you, for example, in audit or in FAR. For example, this is my audit course. And under my audit course, the first lesson I have it listed first, is exam simulation tutorial plus 24 AICPA simulation. I will show you, understand the form of simulation. Then I go over simulation step by step, previously released simulation, to show you how to tackle those simulations in video format, step by step. Type and topic. I guess I'm going to call it the 2T strategy for simulation. I just thought of the word 2T strategy. Topic and what was the other thing? Topic and type. I'm so tired. Shoveling snow for the past 2 days. I'm not even feeling that well. Maybe you guys can hear it in my voice. But yes, this is what I can tell you about simulation. And for more details, I shared a long video, 17 minutes, and a short video. Take a look at them. Again, Bavak is asking about the same thing. I'm struggling with simulation, especially for FAR. Can you please give us some tips? I just gave you 2 videos, short and a long version. Please view them right now. As I'm talking to you right now, take a minute, view them. Take a few minutes, 17 minutes. You can view it on speed mode. Come back and let me know your opinion. But that's not only what I provide. You want to see how I solve simulation. For example, for FAR, I have 2 years worth of simulation, actually more than 2 years plus maybe an additional 6 or 7 simulation that I solve step by step, previously released simulation. This is the simulation. This is how you tackle it. Step 1, step 2, step 3, so on and so forth. I am at Najah National University in Palestine, the Arab region. I write now my thesis about moderator role of AI and the relationship between SDG, Andalusia earning management and accrual. That's very interesting, especially AI. Good for you. Though, when do you expect to finish this? To finish all of this? Let me see if there's any comments on YouTube. No comments on YouTube. We have 18 people. Please, guys, I keep the floor open for you. Again, my voice is a little bit rusty because shoveling snow for 2 days, and I was sick and didn't make it any easier. I hope I feel better when I wake up tomorrow morning. I'll be waiting for your comments. And especially the people that ask, 4 people ask for simulation. View those videos now. Come back and give me your feedback. Ask me if you have any questions specifically about those videos, the type of simulations, how to approach them, so on and so forth. So when someone says simulation, again, I can take a multiple choice question, any multiple choice question, and turn it into a simulation. I can take any simulation and turn it into a multiple choice question. Some simulations is a series, not even of multiple choice questions, series of true false. So for example, they give you 6 different statements, and you have to select whether the statement is correct or not. You have a 50% chance getting it right. It's a true false question. They call it simulation. They package it in the form of a simulation, but really what that is, it's a true false 50-50 question. So I'll wait a minute or two until people maybe look at the comments, look at the video, come back with more Questions or comments? Let's see. Let's see if there's anything on Facebook. Any comments coming from Facebook? I don't see any comments from Facebook. If you're on Facebook and sending comments, please hop on YouTube and let me know that because I cannot see your comment. I'll wait a couple more minutes, and if there is no comments or anything, we'll wrap it up for the day. We'll be live again. Today is Tuesday. I'll try to be live again on Thursday morning. Try to rotate between a night live session and AM and a PM session to accommodate people on the East Coast, West Coast, Indian time zone, and the Middle East. I have students everywhere, so I'm trying to find the best time. And by the way, on Saturdays now I'm having a live Zoom meeting with my members. So if you are a member of Farhat Lectures, on Saturdays I have live Zoom meeting with my members. So if you want to have a Zoom one-on-one, it's in a group. Be a member, and this way we can talk, we can discuss anything you would like to discuss. Not tutoring, but basically motivation questions like this. Also, if you're a member of the website, also you get one free consultation. Not one free, but you'll get free introductory consultation session. Initially, when you sign up, I usually send you a message saying, look, welcome, thank you, this is my cell number. If you'd like to set up a consultation, consider me your mentor, so on and so forth. So if you're looking for a mentor, if you're not a member of my website, sign up. It's $30 a month. You can't beat the price. The mentoring is basically free, comes with it. So I would love to have you as my mentee. Your success is my success. When you pass, I am happy. We're all better off. So any other question, comments? I will wait a little bit more, maybe 3 more minutes. We'll have a 40-minute session, and we'll call it for. We have 17 people present. And if I did miss your comment, I do apologize. If I did miss your comment, I do apologize. It's the text I thought I will see all the comments all in one page, but it's not. I have to look at 2 different screens. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Hi, Nicholas. Hi. Hello, Nicholas. I guess this is Facebook. I'm glad you can. I'm glad I can see your. Comments, Nicholas. Thank you, Nicholas. Tell us, Nicholas, are you preparing for the CPA exam? And if so, what are you using? Did you pass any sections? Are you looking for any advice? So I guess the Facebook comments are working, which is good. And Nicholas is a proof of that. I know my voice is congested. I hope I wake up tomorrow feeling better. I mean, when I wake up in the morning, I can't even breathe. I think I'm feeling better today, much better than the previous 2 days. And shoveling snow in below zero temperature, it doesn't help much. It doesn't help much. Nicholas, why does your name sounds familiar? Did we talk before, or for some reason your name sounds familiar? Maybe you can remind me why. Maybe we talked on the phone, or you already passed the exam, but I don't know. Your name sounds familiar. I talk to a lot of people, so sometimes I forget who I spoke to. For some reason, your name is familiar to me, but you can tell me if you are still listening. Looking at both LinkedIn and YouTube. No comments. For the person that's taking RAG, please join us next time. Maybe we can talk about how you feel without given any specific information so you don't get into trouble. And you can tell us how well you did versus your expectation, of course. Let me see. We have Lil CJ. I just watched your intro to adjusting entries. I'm assuming you said I want to thank you because I got it instantly, unlike my actual accounting class, which makes it more confusing than it actually is. Thank you very much. I would greatly appreciate it if you share it with your classmate. And by the way, I just want to show you something. Of course, I'm going to show you my website. I'm assuming, are you taking this as a financial accounting or as intermediate accounting? So I'm assuming you're taking this as a financial accounting. So if you're taking this as a financial accounting, so it's not only the adjusting entries, it's important to go through the adjusting entries, but you can also sign up for my full financial accounting course, and you have a 2-day free trial to see if it helps you or not. It's not only so adjusting entries. I'm assuming this is financial accounting. I have the same thing for intermediate accounting. Everything I say about financial applies to intermediate. I will have lectures, quizzes, podcast, and within the lectures, for example, let me show you what you can do with your adjustments. For example, this is introduction to adjustments. What you can do, you can create flashcards. Let me show you and test yourself. Let me show you how it works. The AI generated, you could also summarize the lesson, summarize it in a table rather than taking notes. Let the AI summarize it, and you can upload it. Oh, the other thing I did not mention earlier, you could also download the lesson in audio notes. And it's not the same lesson that I lecture. It summarizes everything in few minutes, and you can download it on your phone. So when you're walking on campus, driving your car, going back and forth from the school, you can listen. So this is the flashcards that will generate based on the lesson. What concept does insurance expense allocation represent? And you can see the answer. You can have the table. You can have the whole lesson that I just showed you in a summary table, or you can summarize the lesson, and you can upload all of this. See, this is the summary of the lesson: adjusting entries, periodicity principle, going concern. It's the concept, the core idea, key rules. If there's any formula, it gives you the formula. You can download all of this in a PDF file. You can print it. You can print it as well. It's all provided to you. What else? You can obviously quiz that. Obviously, you could also quiz yourself about that topic. So the point is, it's not only the lectures, because adjusting entries, introduction to adjusting entries, it's easy to understand, but you're gonna dive more. There are 4 types of adjusting entries, and each one will have different rules. So you want to go to the website, invest a little bit in yourself, $50 a month, and this is the quiz that it will give you the quiz, and you can practice. And I also have actual quizzes where you can take the quizzes as well. Again, you could generate audio notes for that lesson as well. And please, I just started managerial, but I did not learn financial as much. I wanted to be prepared for intermediate in the fall. Lil, I have all the courses, whether you can go back to financial, if you're taking managerial, if you're taking intermediate, you can start ahead. So please take advantage of my website. I'm going to type farhatlectures.com, and I have a yearly special now. If you're going to take advantage of that, that's a great idea. Here's the website, farhatlectures.com. The best investment you can make in your education and yourself. Let's take a look at another comment. Let me just remove the, let me take a look at another. I came across your lectures during my struggle with Becker because now I understand it's a review material, not an actual teaching one. Absolutely. That's the main difference between what I do and Becker. Some people, once they see, it's a CPA review. I don't need the CPA review course. I already have Becker. Yes, I don't replace your Becker. What I do is I explain the material. Becker review the material. Thank you so much, Natal. And I cannot emphasize this point enough. Becker, not only Becker, I'm not picking on Becker. Any review course it's a review course. They review the material. And when you review the material, they assume you know it. And that I don't make this assumption. I teach it from zero. And with my system, from lectures to podcast to AI quizzes, to actual quizzes, to flashcards, to audio notes, to summary tables. So you could zoom in on whatever topic you're looking for within sampling, just one topic at a time, zoom in, ace it, move on, so on and so forth. Yes, so thank you for your comment. I really appreciate it. I have another comment from Brandy. I'm studying for the CMA. There has been 20 years of changes and that I have been struggling with any motivation. Yes, let's talk about motivation. Brandy, tell me, why are you studying for the CMA? Let's start with that. Uh, I know certain review courses they would say place $100 on your head to remember to study. No, you gotta find an internal motivation. So, what drives you to go for the CMA? That's my question. Let's start from there because I want you to go back and remember why you started this. If you remember why you started this, if you have a reason why, the how is easy. Why are you studying this? Tell us, why are you studying for your, I kind of, obviously we all know the answer why, because you want to do better, but I want to hear it from you to remind yourself about your motivation. This is how you motivate yourself. Now, some people, they get demotivated for other reasons. They don't have time. I totally understand. They don't have time to study. The other demotivation is find difficulty studying. Now, if you're finding difficulty studying because you don't remember the material, it's difficult, that I can help with because every lesson I teach, I start from zero. I start assuming nothing and I start teaching you the material. If that's an obstacle for you, I can help you with that. If time is an obstacle, I can give you some tips. Record your notes, use audio notes, wake up a little bit early, use AI to help you retain the material, so on and so forth. We can do one-on-one discussion if you would like to help you with how to save time. But if you're demotivated because the material is difficult, that I can help you with. That's the easiest thing for me. But if you tell us why you go for your CMA, then we can talk about this. Let's see. I wanted to ask how many days of leave is idle for a person before appearing for the FAR exam for a working professional. And each individual is different. Now, the more, the better. But if you can get 1 day, 2 days is better, 3 days is better. I can tell you, take a week, but will your boss give you a week? Okay. So the more time, the better off you are. But at least take a day off before. Just rest physically, mentally, psychologically, and be prepared for the exam. But 3 days is better than 1, and a week is better than 3 days. And if it was me, I would give you a week because that's an investment. That should be considered an investment, but it all depends on your boss, on your work culture, and other factors. The more, the better. Obviously, that will be my answer to you. Let's go down here. There's no average student. There's no average students. Each student is unique. Each student here is unique. There's no average student. Welcome, Dorel. I'm studying for REG. Absolutely. How are you studying for REG? How are you studying? Could you share with us a little bit more you are having? Maybe I can help you. Please share more information and I'll be happy to entertain, that idea. Donna said that is my obstacle. Donna, which one? Is it time or is it difficult? Because I mentioned 2 obstacles, and maybe you can tell us a little bit more. Brand, I want to help my boss achieve his goal of multiple locations. I believe, Brandy, you were discussing the CMA. Absolutely. If that is your motivation, and that's a strong motivation. It means you want to grow. You want to grow your company. Then yes, if the CMA will do that, will help you do that, absolutely. That's a strong motivation. Once again, if you have problem with time, you got to find creative ways to find the time. If you have a difficulty with the material, just talk to me. And how do you talk to me? You know what? I did not share my Calendly with you guys. So let me share my Calendly with, this way. If you guys need to do one-on-one meeting, we can do that. So I will share. And again, those are free of charge meetings. So in case you're wondering, it's one-on-one. What's the bill? There's no bill. It's free of charge. Then Again, if you want to, let me log into my Calendly, then I will give me one moment, guys. Then for anyone that's looking for specific, I need help with like how to manage time. By all means, I'm gonna share with you my Calendly link. Give me one moment, please. Just type in the code. But generally speaking, waking up half an hour earlier would help. Recording your notes on your phone and doing them on the go. It's another it's another uh, it's another tip that I can give you to save time. And this is my calendar. If you want more specific one-on-one, again, it's free of charge. Yeah, it's free of charge. All what you pay for it is I think my material is good for you. I would recommend it. So that's as much pressure as you're gonna get. I just purchased your lectures and not sure where to begin. I'm studying with Becker. Easy. If you're studying with Becker, well, easy. Let me show you if you're studying with Becker. Could you tell me which section for Becker? So if you're studying with Becker, first, which CPA review course? I believe you said right. Which CPA review course? It doesn't matter. So here's how you start, Dana. I'm going to share my screen. So you go to my website and CPA exam, and depending which Becker you are doing. So if you're doing audit, if you're studying with audit, you go here, and this is AUD Becker audit. You click on AUD Becker audit, and the audit course will come up. The first thing is welcome course resources success tips. View this, then introduce yourself. This is the tutorial for the simulations. Don't touch this until later. I have it here just to let you know. And you start step by step. And within the here welcome, I show you what to do step by step, by 4-step process of how to do the work. So this is how you will do the work. Again, time, I cannot create time for you. In other words, I can give you tips. You're going to see if you see those 4-step process, I'll give you some tips of how to save time. But for the material, I can definitely help you learn the material better than what Becker is doing. Becker does a great job reviewing. I don't compete with them. That's not what I claim I do. I teach you the material. What's your best advice for trying again from failure? And this is Miguel. Miguel, because this is a very common question. So guess what I do for common questions? I create shorts. So I'm going to share the short with you, and not only with you, with everyone else. Give me one moment here, and give you because really there's no one specific answer. First, when you fail, you need to ask yourself why. Why did I fail? If it is specific, if it is specific topics. If it's specific topic, you failed, you go back and you review those topics. That's what topics you are struggling with. If you don't know what topics you're struggling with, you're already in trouble. It means you don't know what's going on, and it means you have to start from zero. And this is where if you want to have a free consultation with me, let me just find that video. Give me one moment. CPA exam retake strategy. It's a short. I know short is not long, right? So this is the short that what I would recommend people to do in case they fail. This is basically the so view that short, and it's only 2 minutes. Then we can discuss it. Let me know what you think. That's the best way to do it. Yeah, I'm retaking intermediate. I got a C- for the first time. I was not prepared for the amount of content. I feel much more prepared now. I'm reading ahead and doing a lot of practice. Yeah, absolutely. And guess what you can do? You can add my intermediate accounting with my lectures, AI resources, notes, multiple choice exercises, all sorts of support for you. This is my intermediate accounting. The chapters step by step, starting from chapter 1 to chapter 25. Okay, I would recommend you do that. What's your best advice for trying again from failure? Again, I shared that short, but the first thing is you have to be truthful with yourself. Why did I fail? Why did I fail? Okay. Donna, I believe I showed you my how to navigate the website, and we have Go US 42069. You are the GOAT. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I hear it a lot on Reddit. And if you're not a member of the Reddit CPA group, please, it's in your best interest. If you're studying for the CPA exam, be a member of, you guessed it, the famous Reddit. If you're not a member of Reddit, join that community. That was my advice to you. Join the CPA community on Reddit. I'm active there. There a lot of people are active. They would help you. They will help you with that. If you're not a member, I strongly recommend you become a member of Reddit. Studying for audit, great. Yes, yes. We cover you for whatever you need to. You're most welcome, Dana. Most welcome. Invest in yourself. Find the time, and you will be there. Thanks, Professor, for free useful YouTube videos. You're most welcome. If you want more, invest in yourself and go to the website. I'm studying, Greg, and your website material are for 2025. No, my material are for 2025, 2026, 2027. My material are relevant, helpful. It doesn't matter what year you are working for. No one updated the material yet, but I will be updating my material. I am working on that shortly. It will be updated in steps, but by the time you get to the exam or the big beautiful bill is tested, everything will be there. So you don't have to worry about this. Remember, I'm a supplemental course. You take me along your CPA review course. My material will help you tremendously. I saw somewhere that the three most important topics to master before intermediate are adjusting, financial statement, and accounting cycle. Is that true? Actually, those three topics in intermediate are covered in one chapter. Um, well, it's not only the most important. What do we mean by that? If you don't know adjusting entries, forget about it. You just don't know accrual accounting, and you're done. Actually, if you don't know adjusting entries, you're not going to know how to prepare financial statements. Accounting is like math. In what sense? Accounting is like math in a sense that information builds on each other. So if you don't know adjusting entries, actually, the truth is, if you don't know your debits and your credits, you cannot survive, not in immediate, not in financial. So there's no three topics that you need to know. You need to know all the topics in order. Adjusting entries, financial statement, accounting cycle, so on and so forth. All these topics build on each other, starting from debits and credits, analyzing the transaction, journal entries, adjusting journal entries, financial statement, closing, then the cycle. You have to know it all. Not only the three most, always you need to know them. Always you need to know them. Okay. Again, just don't guess. As I recommend, you know what I'm gonna recommend? Farhat lectures, take my intermediate, have peace of mind. If I was you, you're a college student, get that yearly special for 150 and have that resource next to you constantly. But that's up to you. That's I don't pressure you, but at least give it a try. You have a 2-day free trial, or give it a try for 1 month. See if it helps. If it does, subscribe longer. But if not, hey, by all means, thank you for even trying. Canon, I appreciate your content. It's honestly the best. Thank you. Are you planning on making CPE material too? I would like to, but no, I have other plans. I have plans to get maybe a full CPA review course, a full EA course, full CMA rather than being supplemental. Not yet. Maybe in the cooking, but not in the near future. For now, find the cheapest CPE and take them. This is what I would recommend, because CPEs are just check the box type of thing. Unless you work in a specific area. For example, let's assume you work in estate taxation. Okay, then take CPE that deals with that topic. So this is what I would recommend. Otherwise, find the cheapest CPE. And there's many organizations that you pay one fee, like $250, $300. It's like a buffet. You can take as many CPEs as possible. But make sure your state accept those CPEs, because if they are online, some states accept a certain amount that's online. Otherwise, the cheaper the better, unless you need them. And by the way, for example, AI CPA, CPE, frankly, I would not recommend them. I took them before. I took several of them. I don't recommend them. I don't highly recommend them. I don't recommend any specific CPE so far. I just take them to check the box to meet the requirement. Um, I don't know. I feel the people that teach CPE, I'm not old in terms of age, but they teach very traditionally. I did not see any CPE course that's a wow that I will go after that CPE course because I enjoy it. Again, it's a check the box type of thing, CPE, at least for me, thus far. Since becoming a CPA a long time ago, I never was impressed by any CPE material that I would recommend saying you should take that CPE. Even especially the AI CPA, I uh, I wouldn't recommend it, but it's for you to choose. Da-da-da. Let's see your CPA guide. That's interesting. Thank you, sir. You teach is lovely. I like your name. Do you provide the CPA bar guide, or you just suggest you name your CPA bar guide? It sounds like. Let me check out that CPA far guide. Check your YouTube channel, see what it is. Let's see if it comes up quickly. Can you share it with us, maybe? I did not find it real quick at CPA far guide. Just have to. Your see if I can find it through the your name. I still don't find it. Maybe you can share it with us. Anyhow, it's 1 hour. I will see you guys on Thursday. I'll have another session for Thursday. For now, have a great night. If you still have to shovel snow like myself for tomorrow, you know, stay safe, stay warm. When you worked as CPA, how did you manage work-life balance plus studying for other qualification? Uh, you know what? I was lucky um, because I finished my exam before I start working, and I still find hard time with work-life balance. Uh, and I did study for my CIA, CFE when I was working, but those are kind of a joke certification relative to CPA. Um, it's tough. Again, every individual is different. You can have a Calendly if you would like to. With me, one-on-one session, I can give you some tips how to do so, especially how to find time to study and how to study efficiently. Do you provide career coaching consultation? Not necessarily career coaching consultation, but I can tell you how to pass the exam, how to be a good staff accountant, and from there it's all up to you. I can be a mentor. You can always get my second opinion about anything, whatever that's worth. Again, I shared my calendar. I will share it again. Um, and again, this is again free consultation. The only thing that I ask you is if I feel that my material can help you, I would say you should sign up with my material. That's that's as far as it goes. This is my calendar again. Thank you. Sorry, late night. I have CPO to work, other qualification during working. Stay safe. Again, if you want personal consultation, we can talk about this. Uh, and don't go for a qualification unless you think it's necessary for your career. Going for just a certification for no reason other than adding title behind your name, I would not recommend it. For now, after you study your CPA, if you go for a certification, make sure that certification serve a particular purpose. Not because you want to add those three letters, CIA, CFE, CMA, CISA, whatever the certification is you're trying to do. On the contrary, uh, have a work-life balance, and unless you need that qualification to improve your life, to improve yourself. Once again, thank you, everyone. I'll have to call it for the night. We'll see you on Thursday morning. Good night, everyone, and thank you very much for attending. I guess the peak was around 25 people. That's good. Hassanin, I finished F1 and F2. Stake in the mark on Becker, good idea. Of course, that's what it is for. Unless you are not well prepared, uh, unless you are not well prepared, don't take it. So if you really finished F1 and F2, yes, it's time to take the mock exam. And guess what? If you're not sure, go to Farhat Lectures and review that material. Good night, everyone, and stay warm.